Today I'm going to teach you guys how to make some pão com chorizo or chorizo bread. Vamos lá? Start by adding your flour, your dry yeast, your salt, and your water to a mixing bowl. Mix everything together until it is all well combined. Now, if you don't have an electric mixer, you can just simply use a spatula to bring everything together. And if you are using an electric mixer, you just have to make sure to scrape down the sides of the bowl so all the flour is fully incorporated. Once you've incorporated all the flour from the sides, you will turn it back on for about 30 seconds. Once everything is combined, cover the bowl with some plastic wrap, or you can just use a towel, but you have to let it rest for 4 hours. You will notice that after those 4 hours, it will have doubled in size. 20 minutes before the dough is done resting, you will prepare the chorizo. I only used half a chorizo for this loaf, but if you like a stronger chorizo flavor, feel free to use the whole sausage. But you have to remember that chorizo releases quite a little bit of oil during baking, so using more will result in a richer and slightly oilier bread. Now, to remove the casting from the sausage, I can give you a little tip. If the casting is difficult to remove, just run it under some hot water and it will peel off much easier. Slice the sausage into pieces of about 1 centimeter thick, and once sliced, you can set it aside until we are ready to fold it into the dough. After 4 hours, you will transfer your dough onto a floured surface. Gently dust the top of your dough before spreading it out evenly. You will place some of the chorizo over one half of the dough, and then you will fold it over. You have to repeat this folding process 4 times in total. The dough may be a little sticky, but simply sprinkle a bit more flour on top and a little bit under the dough. And you will notice that it will be easier to handle the dough when folding. You can see here that my dough was sticking to my fingers, so what I did was just sprinkle a little bit of flour on the bottom and a little bit of flour on the top. When the last half is folded, you will see that I'm putting some flour on the bottom of the dough. And I'm doing this so it will release easily from the countertop, because now you will have to line a baking tray with parchment paper and you will have to carefully transfer the dough onto the tray. Now you will cover it and let it rest for another 30 minutes. While the dough is resting, you will preheat your oven to 225 degrees Celsius using top and bottom heat. Place an oven-safe bowl filled with water on the bottom rack of the oven to create steam. After 30 minutes, you'll notice that the dough has increased in size. Dust the top with a little more flour and score it with a sharp knife to create a pattern. One mistake I made was not cutting deeply enough, so don't be afraid to make the cuts a little deeper for a more beautiful result. You will bake the bread for about 30 minutes, and if you notice that the top is browning too quickly halfway through baking, you can just loosely cover it with a piece of aluminium foil. Once it's done, You'll be left with a delicious savory loaf that's soft on the inside, packed with flavor, and perfect to enjoy, freshly out of the oven. But make sure that before you decide to cut into the bread, it is fully cooled down. Now look at it, very soft, stretchy, and delicious. And of course, make sure to eat it, enjoy it, and of course, don't forget to thank me.